Are you sure?
Andrade.
Out here. Yes, there's no
Andrade.
my basement. I didn't say anything about your basement.
Good morning, good evening, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Barra. We are here to get to some news. There's a lot of stuff we need to get to in this video. I'll be trying a new format where I'll be kind of putting two shows together. Friday and Saturday, they just both kind of just congeal. They kind of just coagulate, with their proximity to each other. So I figured we could just knock out Friday and Collision while we're here. Also got a new tattoo. If you guys want to see that, that's pretty cool, right? Starting off, Andrade has departed with the Fed, man. This is breaking news. Apparently, he's been at odds with the Fed since about SummerSlam, which is surprising that nobody really had any actual idea about this. We're all finding this out on the fly. A lot of people are expecting him and anticipating him to go to a CMLL or to maybe even go back to AEW as a full-time mid-carder, which is something that honestly I'm not all the way opposed to, just due to his talent level. But if you ask me, the real dagger here is to give somebody like Andrade, who is extremely talented, a massive rocket in whatever promotion he goes to, just so you can show the Fed, as whether an indie promotion or AEW, that you are not somebody to be messed with, right? Like, you are not somebody to be played with. A bully knocks you down, but you got to hit him in the mouth, right? Speaking of bullies, we get a piece of news from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia tells the entire world that they're going to be sport washing 2027 with WWE. For any of you who doesn't know what sports washing is, it is a practice to bring massive amounts of tourism and media, sports attraction to your country when you're enacting acts of either terror or acts against humanity. It is something very popular that, you can even date back to Nazi Germany with the Olympics. Really sick shit, but all around, that's what Saudi's doing. The announcement for WWE had a lot of uninterested wrestlers. It had Undertaker out there, Shawn Michaels, none of the fucking young talent. Like, you had a Logan Paul out there who literally just botched the fucking buckshot lariat, the opponent's fucking top stars move, not even less than 3 weeks ago, but he should be here for some reason, right? Because he's a fucking stakeholder in TKO with Prime. We've talked about this shit before, right? And they go out there and they say, yeah, we're gonna go to Saudi Arabia. Now, the big issue with this is that Saudi Arabia is not in the States, right? That's not domestic. So anybody who wants to go to Saudi Arabia, they're gonna have to fork up the change for a passport and any other amenities that are going to be overseas. You know what I mean? Along with the flight. I mean, like, it's crazy to think they have to pay for all this, not even counting the $30,000 fucking nosebleed tickets that WWE's pushing out of their assholes, right? You can't make this shit up, man. You cannot make this shit up. But a lot of the fans are very unhappy with this Saudi Arabia announcement, and rightfully so. I mean, places like the UK, hell, even places like a fucking Paris. Why doesn't Paris have one by now? It's just shocking, man. It's shocking. And frankly, knowing that we're going to be doing all this building just to knowing that all these storylines eventually have to lead towards a Rock or Roman Reigns or an Undertaker and Triple H, it's like, fuck this, man. Fuck this. Wrestling is dead, bro. But, speaking of the corpse of wrestling, we're going to be getting to Worldwide Excrement Smackdown September 12th, 2025. This promotion was low-key overshadowed by Triple H's promotion, Double Champ Dirty Dom. He became Double Champ Dirty Dom became a reality. He picked up the AAA championship from Vikingo. Also, Natalya picked up a really solid win. Her execution, her presentation on all these indie cards have been amazing. A lot of people are really frustrated that this isn't the version of Natty that we're getting. She's winning and she's over in all these places. But is this going to actually come back to the homeland, right? Where maybe she can get a little bit of the skin that she's shaving off out there. Because fuck is she putting on? She's putting on phenomenal work. I did just want to start the show with that on a kind of semi-positive, even though it's not SmackDown, because this SmackDown blew. The Smackdown blew everybody, and we'll be getting to Collision in this exact same video. And I didn't have the best time with Collision, but this Smackdown, it just wasn't good, man. It wasn't good. We start off with Brock Lesnar. He's doing his whole stupid farmer cowboy shit that was over in like 2019, right? R-Truth comes out there dressed as fucking John Cena, and they generate the most low-hanging, cheap fucking pops. They've already established that they don't want R-Truth as a comedy actor. So why they keep forcing him to go out there and chuck and jive, I don't know, but it's embarrassing. It's telling, being that almost all of your black or brown champions have been dethroned by Brock Lesnar. And now we're going to have one of your most over heels now you're gonna have one of your most over faces, probably one of your more fucking insane stories of the wrestling year, and Ron Killings being fired. You're just gonna have him get jobbed out to Brock Lesnar. And then, somebody really commented on this, and I try not to make too much of light of it, but after this, Brock really does kind of just like start doing shit. He just starts doing shit, like starts dancing, like slapping his ass and shit. And I'm like, is he the heel? Is he the heel? He's like grandpa. He's like grandpa off of his meds, who's fucking 6'9" and cut like a diamond. It's like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on out there, right? I mean, truth be told, I feel like this could have been taken up by anything at all. I mean, hell, the first match of the night that we get is B-Fab versus fucking Julia, which is like, I don't know what you niggas want me to say about this. I mean, both these ladies look amazing. I mean, Julia, she goes out there, she wrestles a pretty okay match, but halfway through this match, her manager runs in to like disrupt everything that's going on. That was a bit of a clusterfuck. Oh, I'm blinking. My mind skipped over Rey Fenix versus Sami Zayn because that match meant nothing. It meant fucking nothing. Unless we're gonna make Rey Fenix a heel, highly doubt it. This is just another match for the sake of matches. I will say that open challenge shit is something that I did ask for deliberately, and I do think that they will deliver on this. The Rey Fenix match was good. I mean, right up there with Cena match last week. It was good, but again, these are two faces going against each other. I mean, the crowd was split just like it was last week with him and Cena. It's just not good looks for your champion. Like you want to build your champion against somebody decent. I'm not saying put Jacob back as face, but get one of those fucking Tola Tunga Unga Wunga motherfuckers out here and have them go against Sammy. You know what I mean? But we can't do that because Rajah Jackson wants to break fucking Stu's jaw in half. So we can't exactly get that, can we? I mean, next match on the night, it's nothing to really write home about. It's Tiffy versus Nia. Oh Lord, it's Tiffy versus Jade. I mean, this is reasonably, on track to be one of the better matches of the night, maybe even match of the night, just due to the caliber of wrestling from these two performers. These two ladies, they give it everything they got. Jade has nothing less than fucking sharpened in that ring. A lot of people are joking that Tiffany Stratton has a motivation to go a little harder in the ring. You can take from that what you will. I thought that was kind of funny. But both of these ladies, they look solid. The issue is the double count out followed by the fucking Nia Jax return. Nia Jax has been in fucking NXT purgatory for God knows how long, and now she's just here. Instead of putting her with a Becky, instead of putting her with a Julia, and I realize that you want your Samoans to be over in this company, because if they aren't, The Rock's gonna take back his 50% ownership in TKO. I understand that, but Nia Jax is such a fucking formidable foe. Why the fuck is she just thrown into this Tiffany fucking Jade vortex? Why? We did Nia and Tiffy. We did that shit already. There's all these stats going out that Tiffy surpassed 200 days as champ with what? Solid defenses. I do say that a little disparagingly because I do believe that this Friday that they defended it on this Friday card. But why the fuck is your main women's belt being defended on a random night of Smack? Like, does that make sense to anybody? I feel like a secondary belt or a tag team belt makes sense. We're fucking hopping a skip away from fucking WrestlePalooza. You couldn't save that for then? Oh man, I don't know. And I was fucking forcing Nia Jax in more fucking spots with a triple threat into this fucking WrestlePalooza card. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. I mean, you have one match like a fucking Rey Fenix, then you have another match with fucking Julia and B-Fab. You have one match with fucking Tiffy and Jade that can arguably be considered match of the night. Then you botch the fucking finish, and then you build towards the last match of the night in Drew versus Randy, right? Drew versus Randy is maybe one of the most 2025 matches I think I've seen in a while. It really just builds. It just builds. That's all. It just builds. Like, there's a spot where like Randy gets busted open, and it wasn't a blade. It was like a natural gig, right? Like he naturally kind of gigged himself some way. And the whole time I'm thinking like, okay, all right. And he kind of just starts doing like the whole vipers in his head thing, and he kind of starts spinning out. But then I gotta tell myself, Randy, brother, you're slotted to lose this because Drew has to go over on Cody. You can't go. You physically cannot go over on Drew a week before his fucking championship match. It can't happen, right? And maybe that's just me being meta, but just the understanding of where we were getting to with WrestlePalooza and Cody and Drew, I was like, okay, let's wrap this shit up. The same thing with this New Day shit, bro. Like let's wrap this the fuck up. Whatever this story is, let's finish it already, right? Drew, he ends up picking up the upper hand, and Cody Rhodes, Mr. Libations, he just ends up storming down to the ring. My nigga, he was on set for like 4 days. 4 or 5 days he was on set. I mean, he's back, he's wrestling, he's cutting promos. I can't complain about that too much, but you missed a lot of time, brother. You missed a lot of time, and now you're just back in the fucking finals, right? I guess it's the perks of being a champ. I mean, we all know Drew's gonna go under. We hate to see it, but I mean, hopefully we still get a little bit of fucking creativity, unpredictability left in Lynn's card. I mean, there are pieces of this show that are booked properly, and then it's just shat on by the Fed. It's really mind-bending shit. Really mind-bending shit from the Fed. That's a good 5 out of 10 all in all. I mean, like, just the Graps saved the show. But I mean, I don't call this anything less than the law of equivalent exchange. You know what I mean? It was fine for what it is, but there's a lot to work towards. And we're not that close to WrestlePalooza. So we'll see what we can keep getting from that. AEW Collision, AEW Collision, September 13th, 2025. This promotion started off with MJF. Yeah. It was really interesting to see MJF kind of just trying to work a beginner crowd. You know, they say that kind of first bit crowd is kind of the coldest you can kind of get, because, you know, they haven't seen any action. They've been sitting on their hands for the past 30 or so minutes. They've seen, you know, probably a couple of dark matches at that time. So it's not like they're, you know, completely warmed up, you know, for the idea of cheering for fucking completely full of energy and ready to go, right? Especially with promotions like a ROH. These fans, they tire out quickly. No, I'll say that. It's definitely my biggest criticism from this match. Definitely my biggest criticism from the crowd tonight. They definitely did seem a lot more worn out than usual. But I mean, all the wrestlers and all the performers on this card really show out. I mean, MJF, he goes out there, he cuts up a beautiful fucking promo on Mark Briscoe in the bums of Pennsylvania. You know, he goes into this good angle of like blue collar versus white collar. It's just good shit, man. MJF is just like, he's such a prick, you know? He's such a prick. And somebody agrees. You know, we get Mark Briscoe on the big screen. Mark Briscoe arrives on the Titantron, and he says, you know, Mark, and he says, hey, MJF, you know, a lot of people that put people, like, there's a lot of greats that put people through tables in this here arena. They're still in the Philadelphia 2300 arena, like a Sabu, to name others. And for that, I'm gonna make that the first part of the equation. Bro starts playing like Einstein and shit, right? After Mark Briscoe kind of finishes up by saying it's going to be a tables and thumbtacks match. Now, a lot of people were expecting a dog collar match, and I really do feel like this is Tony Khan just kind of subverting expectations, kind of trying to keep things fresh. I think the idea that somebody can predict his booking will be seen as a detriment, maybe not to the Fed, like maybe not to the sickos, but to the people who reside in the Fed. You know, not always the most positive thing. People can spot your booking from 60 weeks out, but I mean, good booking is good booking, and good stories just have a final point, right? And I think, I mean, even with that Okada Konosuke situation, that's simply the final point. There's no other fucking conclusion to that. After this little segment, you know, where Mark Briscoe, he declares his terms, he tells MJF to turn around, and Mark Briscoe kind of delivers a better spear than the Yeet Man. The Yeet Man kind of gets out-speared by Mark Briscoe. That was weird. That was fucking weird. Next we get a segment between Kyle O'Reilly, Hologram, and Roderick Strong. These guys look great. By the way. No Tomohiro Ishii. No Tomohiro Ishii, unfortunately, he's probably off wrestling in the fucking Japanese circuit, doing amazing shit over there. But this is a setup for the match that we get in the main event. The Death Riders, Daniel Garcia, Jon Moxley versus the Paragon, and it is a match to behold. I'll tell you niggas what, boy, it is a match to behold. We'll be getting there when we get there. But really interesting to see. Roderick Strong is very entertaining, and my fucking perfect booking. He's the AEW International Championship for 500 days running. But that's my way. That would be my way of doing shit. We get a match between Konosuke and Bowens. Konosuke looks amazing. Konosuke looks fucking amazing. I mean, he goes out there and he is easily like just oozing superstar potential. But and it's interesting, right? Because Anthony Bowens, the first thing you notice on him is his 107 wins, and it's like fucking hell. The commentator, Tony Schiavone, he points this out, and it's like fuck, dude, right? And then he goes out there, right? Don Callis is on the comms, by the way. He's calling this entire match, and he has to actively say multiple times, like, yeah, this Anthony Bowen guy is pretty good, huh? But my guy's better. And it's like, yo, Anthony Bowens, he goes out there and he shows his ass, bro. He shows his fucking ass. And it's like, I remember saying a while ago that Anthony Bowens is really captivating on that microphone when he gets passionate and angry, and he kind of, focus, and he harps on something real specific to continue the promo with. But brother, the second that bell rings, he's a firecracker, bro. He doesn't stop going. I mean, he damn near pushes Konosuke to a quote unquote limit. I mean, I loved it. I think even Don Callis got kind of hit with a couple of near fall jumps sometimes. It was good, man. Really good match. I mean, if they ever run this shit back, I'll be here for it. Solid fucking hoops. There's an amazing fucking Poison Rana into a famouser. Chef's kiss, bro. Like, this shit's crazy. Anthony Bowens is easily the future of fucking AEW. I mean, he's been here for a while, but dude, belt him up, bro. Belt him up. Singles run immediately, bro. TNT champion for the next 90 fucking weeks. We see a tag match right after this. Between we see a 10 women's all-star tag match between the Pentagon of Madness, as I like to call them, the Triangle of Madness plus Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne versus Jamie Herter, Chris Statlander, Harley Cameron, Bella, I think is maybe her name, and Jay Ann. Also, that Konosuke and Bowens match was the first match of the night. Amazing fucking way to start your show. Holy shit, it only kept the fucking expectations going. The segments that we get in between all these women is just phenomenal, bro. Toni Storm has this great comment. She's like, she said, Harley Cameron is just Jim Henson with tits. Yo, Toni Storm's a fucking national treasure, bro. A fucking national treasure. They go out there and they have a bunch of individual little matchups. As stated by Tony Schiavone before the match started, there was a countless little struggles and little beefs happening within this 10 women's tag match. There's a prize for $500K, obviously distributed between the 5 women who would win whatever tag team, would win on whatever tag team that they are on. And we really get to see a really solid execution, beautiful execution between Hayter and Bayne. I'm not sure if they wrestled in the past, but they have phenomenal fucking chemistry. I mean, Penelope Ford, gorgeous to look at. Her fucking moveset is very stiff, very kind of above the wrestler. She really does have this heel gimmick down to a T. Even the third piece of this tag team for the Triangle of Madness, I'm blanking on their name currently, but I mean, it all just fits. It all fits. They end up picking up a win. This leads to, them kind of just brawling on all the women. There's a lot of good brawl segments, really solid produced match. Also, can't give that enough credit. We love seeing production in wrestling matches. That's a rarity. That's a rarity, being that Tiffany fucking Stratton almost broke her skull on Friday night Smackdown going up against Jade. All right, production is very important, kids. They go up against the Pentagon goes over, and Queen Aminita and Mina, they come down with kind of like a cooler, and Queen Aminita comes down with some spatulas, and it's funny. Queen Aminita, they're kind of like spanking and whatever. It's kind of goofy. And Penelope Ford kind of no sells the spatula spank, and I'm like, Girl, I don't know if you were supposed to do that. I don't know if that was in the script. I think you're supposed to sell that spatula hit, bro. Also, Queen Aminata just bringing gayness to wrestling. Good for her, huh? Good for her. You know what? Keeping the spirit alive. But they go out there. Toni Storm, again, she's on commentary. Hilarious, by the way. Hilarious. I need to see a straight man fucking. Oh man, no pun intended. I need to see a kind of dry humor Daniel Bryanson kind of paired up against Toni Storm, just kind of over the top zealousness. I need it immediately, bro. I need it immediately. This does lead to a massive brawl segment, like no less than about 12 or so women brawling. Tony, I'm gonna tell you this shit one time. We need women's belts, nigga. I'm not gonna keep asking you. I'm gonna tell you. We need women's belts. Tag women's belts. Get it done. All right, stop fucking playing around, bro. Okay, between this shit, all right, and the Jade and Tiffy finish, I know it was a different promotion. I'm not off of it. Hey, women's wrestling, okay, is in jeopardy. Okay, we can only keep getting 5-star matches from Stardom, all right, and fucking Becky Lynch before this shit starts getting scary out here. We need women's tag belts, all right, and we need main card women to defend on pay-per-views. No questions asked about either of those. Next couple of matches of the night, we get Big Bill versus Max Caster. Max Caster is very over. Unfortunately, they were during commercial break, during his infamous 2-minute rants, probably because he said something mean about Charlie Kirk or somebody else. He probably made a really unfunny joke about somebody else. Who knows? But I would like to think that he said something that made the network actively tune out, right? I think it's a little bit better that way. Also, Caster is very fucking over. I mean, you can't get enough of that. I mean, he also gets a segment after this match, after he not surprisingly loses to Big Bill. He bumps into Anthony Bowens, and after this match with Big Bill, Big Bill, he calls out Eddie Kingston. That's an entire thing. Eddie Kingston also accepts the challenge from Big Bill, so that's also very cool. Max Caster, he bumps into Anthony Bowens. Anthony Bowens brushes past him, and Anthony Bowens, they get into this whole little brawl. They go out into the ring, and their old coach that has been kind of trying to guide Anthony Bowens back to the light, more or less, he comes out and is like, hey, what the hell is your problem? You guys are acting like a bunch of morons. You keep losing matches, talking to Max Caster. And you're just been a hothead who doesn't know what he's doing, talking to Anthony Bowens, somebody who did just lose a match to Konosuke Takeshita. Arguably probably match of the night, though, but whatever, right? And what happens after this is Blake Christian and a guy who looks a lot like Killmonger, they come out, they call themselves the Swirl. I think that's pretty funny, right? Laughing on the inside. They challenge the coach to just a beat down, and Max Caster and Anthony Bowens are just kind of at odds. They're kind of just separated, and this 56-year-old guy, right, he rips off his shirt, he's super jacked, he starts laying into Blake Christian and this guy that looks like Killmonger. I really don't know his name. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't know bro's name. And after this, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, they kind of come together. They don't hit any tag finishes or anything, but they do end up clearing the house and standing tall with the coach. They don't shake hands or anything like that, but they seem to be on good terms, meaning we could be building back to this whole Max Caster, Anthony Bowens thing. I think Max Caster as a singles act is phenomenal, right? If you ask anybody who sits in a Collision crowd to tell you different, I mean, I don't know what the fuck else you can call that kind of energy that he generates from losing matches. It's phenomenal shit. We get a really quick segment backstage with MJF and Mystico. MJF is just kind of just the world's most snarky heel. He has his translator that looks like Abe Lincoln, and he ends up calling he ends up calling Mystico a pussy. I'm gonna beat you up next Sunday because it's a CML live event. So that's gonna be interesting. It might be on YouTube, might not be. Maybe I'll give you guys some recaps from that if you ask for it nicely, huh? Pleases and thank yous. That Mystico, he doesn't take too nicely to MJF's words, and he lays into the translator, making his big stupid Abe Lincoln hat fall off. I thought that was pretty funny. I think John Wilkes Booth would have laughed at that. We get a really interesting match between FTR, and it's a bit of a rematch, from the gentlemen from the DPW. I believe their names are Adam Priest and some Brian Killinger. I believe that's his name. Brian Killinger and Adam Priest. It is a rematch from these with FTR. But niggas, this match crazy. This match is fucking insane. And it's interesting, unlike the Unlike the Drew and Randy match that were just kind of just like progressing at a kind of stagnant pace until the big Cody pop happened, this match, it was wrestled to almost a standstill, right? Like FTR was easily over. Then all it took was 3 spots. These DPW guys, now they're in the lead. And you, for half of a second, genuinely thought that these guys were going to be going over again. Well, you genuinely thought for a second that these guys are going to be going over because FTR, they're making mistakes. They're getting hit with insane fucking spots. There's a tornado DDT onto the apron. And like this level of wrestling that we have witnessed so far, we're not even like halfway. And the amount of wrestling that we're witnessing so far isn't even the main event, right? We still have 2 really fucking good matches to get through. But this match was amazing. Really, really fucking amazing. I mean, I can't compliment FTR enough. Stokely's on the outside losing his mind. All the fucking mics are picking him up. He's great. It's great. It's good TV, man. It's good TV. FTR, maybe if you're not going to make them champions, you add a third piece. You bringing in a piece adjacent to the fucking Punk Rockers, right? I believe that's what they called themselves when they were with FTR and Punk. You bring something in like that. Maybe you get them trios belts. Do something, man. Give Dax and Cash on a fucking generational fucking run right now. FTR versus Bucks would generate so much fucking money. Holy shit. But they're 2 heels, so I understand why we can't get it. All around, I love the FTR, man. I love FTR. I love them. They're great. They're fucking amazing. What can I tell y'all, man? Right after this, we get Michael Oku versus Kazuchika Okada. This match is again in progression for their tournament that they're building. Not really trying to have Konosuke versus Okada exactly yet, but it's kind of like a dimmed down diet version of that. All in all, though, this is a fucking beautiful match, bro. Michael Oku is, again, the future of this industry. Like, this show has propped up so many young talents. We're going to be getting to Danny Garcia later in the show, but I couldn't be more fucking impressed. He goes out there, he takes like 30 hideous fucking bumps. But I mean, they all look like they were coordinated, with the match. Doesn't look like anything sloppy happened. I'll be getting to it now. Danny Garcia, he hits like the worst performed ring post finger forelock, and I'm like, okay, some of these young niggas gotta stay in the gym. But all in all, man, I'm really fucking happy about this match, bro. Okada, he sits here and he just finds the pace for all of his fucking opponents, and he just matches it immediately. Michael Oku counters like 30 Rainmakers before Okada can hit one. The second he hits it, though, game over. 1, 2, 3. Dom Callis is on the comms. And it's like the second Okada sets up for the Rainmaker, Don Callis throws down his mic. And that's how you know the match is over, right? I thought that was a really fucking interesting piece of just like character work from Dom. Really, really good shit, bro. Really, really good. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. Okada is so tough. Like, Okada is so fucking tough, man. Because he delivers some of the most like gut-wrenching bombs. He delivers some of the most gut-wrenching fucking spots. And then he will take some of the most disgusting moves I think I've ever fucking seen. He has this really insane move where his head just fucking bounces off the mat. It just bounces off. And I think I don't believe it was a DDT. It was maybe like a drop kick or something. It was like, dude, Okada, you're crazy. He's fucking crazy. He's crazy. He's fucking insane, man. I love him for it. I love him. I love him, daddy. I love him, daddy. Last match of the night, man. We get Paragon last match tonight. We get the Paragon versus Death Riders. I fucked with this match heavy. One reason I really fucked with this match is Roderick Strong, he sees his wife on the outside and he bosses the fuck up. For anybody who doesn't know, Roderick Strong and Marina Shafir, they are married. I do not believe that they have a family, but if they did, not our business. They are engaged, or at least some level of marital status, and he goes out there and he performs for his fucking wife, man. The entrance to this, gorgeous, bro. The entrance to this shit is fucking Mox coming out. He's slapping fucking Garci's ass. Garci's sitting in the corner like fucking Anakin Skywalker. I was fucking with it, bro. Right after this, man, we get to the match, and the first couple of segments is just a freestyle, like a really gorgeous fucking execution of a freestyle between Kyle O'Reilly and Danny Garcia. Can't complain about that, man. Halfway through this match, we get "We love you to no we don't" chants. I popped for that one pretty loud. Danny gets like the shit kicked out of him for like a good amount of this, like a really good amount of this match, but he ends up finding his groove. He tries to hit that figure four that we're not going to mention. Marina, she saves Mox from like a really hideous fucking Roderick Strong dive, and then after we learned that Roderick Strong got spit on by Marina, like lucky Roderick, bro, lucky Roderick, living the fucking dream. Obviously the Death Riders do go over in this match, but after, man, we see Magic Danny. I think it's like Magic Mike or Magic Danny, man. I don't know what his name is, man. Like I don't know what his name is, but he comes out, he's barking at Danny Garcia. Mind you, like a 20-something minute match this nigga just had. Beat to shit, exhausted, sweating everywhere. There's all types of shit, like debris around the ring. It's crazy. They just had a war with the Paragon, right? We're also going to be getting a Roderick Strong, John Moxley match on Dynamite next week as a go-home show for All Out. Mwah, chef's kiss on that behalf, man. Roderick Strong is a hooper. His wife's going to be on ringside, so we're just going to keep balling like he was tonight. Can't be pissed at that. I mean, we really did get a really good Collision. My only issue was that I did not log in, like I did not get to watch it. And unfortunately, you know, apparently, if you don't watch if you don't dedicate every single moment of your life to wrestling promotion, that means that WWE deserves to buy up the wrestling promotion with no questions asked, right? So I'll make sure I will definitely get to it next time. I did record it though, so I'm a step ahead of the game. I had a really good time with this Collision though. I wish I had a better time with Smackdown. And all in all, man, I can't say that wrestling's in a bad place. You know, All Out and Special Palooza are going to be going head to head. I know which one I'm most likely going to be interested in, just from a story basis. But wrestling wise, I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see whatever we can get from both promotions, right? This has been your boy, Cappy D. Barra. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay beautiful. Peace, y'all.